Now, in my opinion, Ned Stark in Game of Thrones, as soon as he learned about Joffrey's true heritage and the fact that he wasn't Robert Baratheon's son, he should have taken that information and left King's Landing immediately. And I don't know why he thought that just him telling the truth and a letter from Robert, which doesn't specifically say anything, was gonna be enough to overthrow Joffrey and Cersei. Now, he already knows that Cersei and Joffrey would do anything to hold on to their power, and they would never let go of it. And he was and essentially because of that, he was surrounded by enemies. I mean, he was already in a foreign place where he doesn't have many allies. I mean, if it was in Winterfell, sure, he could have easily done this because everyone supported him and believed him. But in King's Landing, he's not gonna get that same support. Nobody really knows him. And they're gonna listen to what the new king and the queen, who they already know, has to say. And if they listen, and if Ned had been smart enough to leave King's Landing with that information and just give it to Stannis, and then things would have ended differently. I mean, if he could have just taken his daughters and left King's Landing immediately, so his daughters would have been safe, he would have been safe, and then if he wanted to, he could have joined Stannis with the Northern Army and taken down the Lannisters, and they would have lost power immediately. I mean, yes, the Lannisters have a huge army, but so does Stannis, and so does Stannis. The Baratheons have huge armies too. Now, yes, there is an obvious issue about Renly and Stannis and who would assume power, but I don't know, maybe Ned Stark could have convinced them. That's a whole other issue, but still, maybe for in the beginning they could just convince it. He could have convinced them to work together to take down the Lannisters, and with the combined armies of the North and the Baratheons, they could have defeated the Lannisters. As large as their army is, they wouldn't have won. And this whole thing, the whole Game of Thrones thing might have been avoided. I mean, yes, we will still have to decide who gets the throne, Stannis or Renly, but they're brothers, so maybe everyone could have talked to them and convinced them not to fight each other. Or maybe even after they defeat the Lannisters, they could have fought each other anyway. Still, two rightful heirs would be fighting for the throne, and one of them would end up on the throne. So that wouldn't be an issue. As opposed to what actually happens, where Ned Stark is branded as a traitor, he gets beheaded, and then his son Robb gathers the Northern Army to go to war to defeat the Lancers, and eventually they get defeated. The Northerners get defeated, and Robb and his family dies. Now, if Ned had done what I said earlier, the entire Stark family would be happy and alive. At least until Daenerys and his dragon show up. Then we would have a completely different situation. But still, that would be more interesting, because when Daenerys shows up with her dragons, essentially the entire North might, and the entire Westeros army might be standing together, and we could see Daenerys and the dragon fight the entire Northern army. Now, obviously, she would still win because she has dragons, but still, that would have been interesting too. So it wouldn't have been completely boring or anything. But we could have had Ned Stark be the head of the Northern army. We could have seen what he was like. I mean, everyone loved the character. The specific brand was really nice to see, and it was a shocker to everyone that he died. But we could have made this so that he dies later on as well, to keep it more impactful. And his son takes over. He learns from his father and then takes over the army. That would have been awesome too. But yeah, Ned Stark dying in season 1 was a complete waste of the character, and he should have taken that information and left. It's obvious.